Integers. We have already seen what natural or counting numbers are. Now we shall look at a wider group of numbers called integers. But before we proceed, I would like you to familiarize yourself with three essential words that you will encounter all through your career. First is sum. Sum means addition. The sum of 2 and 3 is 5. Next is difference. Difference means subtraction. The difference between 3 and 2 is 1. Finally is product. Product means multiplication. The product of 3 and 2 is 6. Before we proceed further on integers, let us look at a number line. Simply speaking, a number line is a representation of numbers in a picture-like form. This is a simple illustration of a number line. The numbers are increasing as one goes to the right. It is important to note that 0 is also an integer. However, any fraction is not an integer. Integers may either carry a positive or negative sign. For example, list all the integers from -4 to +2. Our answer is -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Negative integers are written with a minus sign in front. For example, -5 and -3. Positive integers may or may not be written with a plus sign in front. For example, +5 or simply 5. Therefore, when no sign is indicated, the integer is a positive one. For example, list all integers between 3½ to 4⅓. Our answer is -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Addition and subtraction of integers. When adding or subtracting integers, it is important to remember some basic principles. The sign in front of a number indicates the direction of movement. A minus indicates movement towards left. For example, use a number line to solve 4 minus 3. This means that from point 4, we move 3 steps to the left. That is shown on the number line below. And our answer is therefore 1. A plus, on the other hand, indicates movement to the right. For example, use the number line to solve -4 plus 6. Means from -4, we move 6 steps towards right. And our answer is +2. Another thing to remember is that during addition, interchanging the numbers does not affect the results. For example, 4 plus 7 has similar results as 7 plus 4. We say that addition of numbers is commutative. Please note that this is only true during addition and not subtraction, in that 3 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus 3, but 3 minus 5 is not the same as 5 minus 3. The third thing to know is that When similar signs follow each other, they can be replaced by a single positive sign. For example, 5 minus -7. Note that two negative signs are following each other. Accordingly, they can be replaced by a single plus sign, that is 5 plus 7. Similarly, 4 plus +5 can be written simply as 4 plus 5. However, when two different signs follow each other, they are replaced by a single minus sign. For example, 7 plus -2. This is written as 7 minus 2. Similarly, -9 minus +2 can be written as -9 minus 2. Further examples. Work them out and see if you get the correct answer. Division and multiplication of integers. Division and multiplication of integers are done in the conventional way you learned in your primary school. Only bear in mind two important rules. 1. A division or multiplication of numbers carrying similar signs has a positive answer. For example, -64 divided by -8, the answer is +8. 90 divided by 9, the answer is 10. Take a look at the other examples. Rule number 2. Division or multiplication of numbers with different signs have a negative answer. That is, -64 divided by 8 is -8. 90 divided by -9 is -10. It is therefore prudent to say that a positive number has two square roots, one with a plus and another with a negative. That is, the square root of 36 is plus or minus 6, since 6 times 6 is 36, as is minus 6 times minus 6. A negative number has no square root. Remember, when no sign is indicated in front of a number, it is assumed to be positive. That is, 9 means +9, 4 means +4. 5 times 4 means +5 times +4. An important thing to know is that a number carries the sign written in front of that number. This is particularly important during calculations. For example, 27 minus 6 minus 2. 27 bears a plus, though it is not written. 6 the minus, and 2 the other minus. If you have to put a bracket to ease calculation, you must not separate a number from its sign. For the case above, it is wrong to write the number as 27 minus into bracket 6 minus 2. If you write it like this, it means both +6 and -2 carries the minus sign outside the bracket, which is untrue. The correct way to write this is 27 minus 6 all into one bracket and then -2. You work the bracket to get 21 minus 2 and the answer is 19. However, when a bracket is already included, you must first work out what is in the bracket. For example, 23 minus into bracket 9 plus 15 means you add 9 and 15, then subtract your answer from 23, which will give you 23 minus 24, and the answer is minus 1. Work out the following and see if you get the answers provided. Multiplication and distributive property. Work out the following pairs. You realize that in all cases the pairs have the same answers. This is called the distributive property of numbers. Each number inside the bracket is multiplied by the one outside. Note that when no sign appears between a number and a bracket, it is understood to mean multiplication. For example, 4 into 2 minus 1 means 4 times into bracket 2 minus 1. Similarly, 2 plus 9 into bracket 3 means 2 plus 9 into bracket times 3. Such can be written as 4 times 2 minus 4 times 1 and 2 times 3 in one bracket plus 9 times 3 in another bracket. Order of operations. Sometimes an expression contains more than one operations. When operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division occur in the same expression, it is termed as a mixed operation. For example, 22 plus 15 minus into bracket 25 plus 5 close the bracket divide by 6 times 4. In such situations, the order of operation is critical to getting the correct answer. Conventionally, we work in the order bracket, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. This is often abbreviated as BIDMAS. Sometimes OFF can be present and it is worked out after the bracket, and hence the abbreviation BODMAS, which is very common. For the case above, we first work what is in the bracket and we shall get 25 plus 5 giving us 30. So we have 22 plus 15 minus 30 divided by 6 times 4. We then do the division and have minus 30 divided by 6 giving us minus 5. So we have 22 plus 5 minus 5 times 4. Multiplication follows and we have 22 plus 15 minus 20. Addition and then subtraction will yield the answer as 37 minus 20, which gives us 17. Another example, 30 divided by 5 minus 25 times 4 plus 3 times 6 plus 40 divided by 5. Using BIDMAS, we have 6 minus 25 times 4 plus 3 times 6 plus 8. Next is multiplication, and we get 6 minus 100 plus 18 plus 8, finally giving us minus 68 as the answer. Please work out the following and see if you end up with the answers provided in the bracket.
I think one of the problems with math is if you aren't strong in it, you end up with weak spots in the foundation. And so if you want to build on that, if you want to go in and major in it or to do honors in it, you really do need a solid foundation. And so if you don't have it, if you've had a bad experience with math, you tend to sort of slough it off, and that's a serious mistake, I think. I believe with the right resources and help, most people can learn most of the math that they need to learn. But in almost any class that you go into, you need to make sure that you're at the starting point. People come in with different backgrounds, different preparations, and so you're not all on the first day at exactly the same place. And so you can go on and learn math. You may need tutorials, you may need tutors, etc., to get your foundation solid so that you can build the next course on it. But math is not so complicated that most people can't learn high school math and certainly the introductory courses in university.